Okay, so yep, all right, I'm live. So hello everyone, my name is Jason. I'm a Course in Miracles student and a channeler. And today, what I'd like to come on to do is continue my daily dose of hope. So this is Daily Dose of Hope, day 5, where I come on to bring a little bit of hope into the world, hopefully. And the reason I'm doing this is that I was guided to do this because I was informed that the wave, there is a new wave that is coming, a wave of light and a wave of emotions and a wave of things that are created from the emotions, and that um, so I'm just coming on to help out with that, to give hope, to help you to stay on your surfboard and keep surfing these waves. So what I'd like to come on today first to talk about is, let's see, I want to talk about cause and effect. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about Sinead O'Connor, and yeah, and then talk a little bit about forgiveness practice and channel. So that's kind of what I'm going to do today. So first of all, first of all, Course in Miracles. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Checking it out. Course in Miracles is online for free. It's called acim.org, and you can check out all this stuff that I'm reading. It's all up there for free. So, but what I wanted to talk about was effect and cause and reversing effect and cause. So, and the idea is that with a lot of times in our lives, we don't know why we feel certain ways, certain things. We might feel sad and we might feel angry, but we don't really know why. We think it's because of this thing, but we're not. Sometimes so we really don't know. There's a lot of stuff that is buried. And so this idea in the Course of Miracles is so I guess the concept of trauma, like in that idea. So effect and cause. So sometimes we don't realize that this pain is coming from a certain trauma. And so if we don't realize the cause, then we can never heal it in trauma. And so if we don't realize the cause, then we can never heal it. And that's the idea of this. So I just want to read through a little bit of it and then try to explain it in the best way I can. The best way to do it is actually for you guys to read it if you're interested. But here we go. Without a cause, there can be no effects, and yet without effects, there is no cause. The cause is a cause made by its effects. The Father is a Father by His Son. Effects do not create their cause, but they establish its causation. Thus, the Son gives fatherhood to His Creator and receives the gift that He has given Him. It is because He is God's Son that He must also be a Father who creates as God created Him. The circle of creation has no end. Its starting and ending are the same, but in itself it holds the universe of all creation, without beginning and without end. Okay, so that is a little bit about that. And then I'm going to just read some just snippets from this. So the first is just from that. It says, effects do not create their cause, but they establish its causation. Right. So the father and the son. So, for example, if you're a parent, you become a parent because of your child. Right. So there you go. And then sickness is meaningless attempt to give effects to causelessness and make it be a cause. Right. So sickness is affected by our mind on our body, and it is an idea that we are not connected with all that there is, and we think when we get a sickness that it is all a part of our body, and so we try to treat the body, but that's not the cause. The cause is here. The cause is our mind. We created it. We projected this thing out, but we don't realize it, and so we've lost the cause and we just see the effect. um, so that's one part of it. Here's another snippet. The lesson is the mind was sick that thought the body could be sick. Projecting out its guilt caused nothing and had no effects. All right. And the body is released because the mind acknowledges this is not done to me, but I am doing this. So we are responsible for this, but we forgot. We forgot the cause. And so here, and then just the last thing I'll read. The miracle establishes you dream a dream and that its content is not true. This is a crucial step in dealing with illusions. No one is afraid of them when he perceives he made them up. The fear was held into place because he did not see that he was author of the dream and not a figure in the dream. And again, this is from chapter 28, uh, chapter 2, reversing effects and cause. And I think that's what I wanted to talk about this. So, yeah, just the idea that we are in a dream and this is all an illusion, and that we are creating this illusion. We are creating this illusion in order to experience all of these different things. But in the end, it's all an illusion. And we have to understand that. So if we see this illusion, if this dream turns into a bad dream, we can change that. And that is our power to do that. And I wanted to talk. So this just reminded me, this cause and effect reminded me of a Sinead O'Connor song from 1994. And the song is called Famine. And so what I wanted to do is just read the lyrics, because I think it seems to be very, very much similar to this concept. Um, and I don't want to offend anyone by this, but this is just a famous song that was out there. And I'm not claiming that I believe anywhere, so I'm just reading this because it's about trauma, and I think it's very interesting. So here we go. The song is called Famine. Okay, I want to talk about Ireland. Specifically, I want to talk about the famine, about the fact that there never really was one. There was no famine. See, Irish people were only allowed to eat potatoes. All of the other food, meat, fish, and vegetables were shipped out of the country under armed guard to England while the Irish people starved. And then, in the middle of all this, they gave us money not to teach our children Irish. And so we lost our history. And this is what I think is still hurting me. See, we're like a child that's been battered, has to drive itself out of its head because it's frightened, still feels all the painful feelings, but they lose contact with the memory. So they're losing contact with the memory of these painful feelings. Um, and this leads to massive self destruction, alcoholism, drug addiction, all desperate attempts at running, and in its worst form becomes actual killing. And if there's ever going to be healing, there has to be remembering and then grieving so that there can be forgiving. There has to be knowledge and understanding. And so she goes through all the lonely people. Where do they come from? Quoting the Beatles. And then uh, I don't know if I should read the whole thing or not, but an American Army regulation says you mustn't kill more than 10% of a nation because to do so causes permanent psychological damage. It's not permanent, but they didn't know that. Anyway, during the supposed famine, we lost a lot more than 10% of our nation through ships of emigration. But what finally brought us was not starvation, but it's the controlling of our education. Schools will go on and on about Black 47 and on about the terrible famine. But what they don't say in truth was there never really was one. So then she goes on to talk about child abuse, um, how let's see, we're suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Look at all our old men in the pubs. Look at all our young men on drugs. Um, so, and then, so the concept of this story. So I'm reading this. I don't know if there's going to be a copyright issue. But the idea is that, yeah, it's about forgiveness, but we can't forgive unless we know the actually where it came from. And that's the whole idea. And I think that's what she's talking about. And I think it's pretty amazing that in the 1994 they actually allowed someone to talk about this. Like, I can't imagine that happening now. What a different world. um but yeah, but talking about trauma, and so this is one aspect, but where people are cut off from the trauma, they don't know why they're feeling a certain way, but they know they're feeling a certain way. And so this is also about our history too, about a lot of the history that we've been taught might not be the way it is. And because of that, it is affecting us in a certain way, but we don't understand what it is. And I think that's part of what this whole ascension is about, is just figuring out what really happened, and forgiving it and understanding it and just letting it go. But we have to know first before we can do that. And I think it's a beautiful message that she has there, and that, still amazed that was on live TV. Oh, what a different world. So what I'll do is I'll channel about that, and then I have just one other thing I want to talk about, and then and then we'll end it. These things are getting longer than I thought they would, but here we go. Uh, Greetings. We are that one that you know as Jesus. And we are here, and we are here, and we are here, and we are here with you, experiencing these things through you and with you, and understanding that you are going through one of the most amazing transformative experiences that are available in this universe at this moment. You are participating in a wonderful, wonderful time, a time of opening, a time of opening your heart and seeing all of the things that were hidden there. And what a beautiful thing it is. And understand that this is just a process. This is just a game in that sense that you don't have to really feel that anger and that pain and that suffering and that hopelessness. All of these things are illusions here, created here for you to have this experience. But understand that you have never left your home and that you are truly loved. You are so unbelievably loved, and that you have never not been loved, that you are made of love. And so that is all that you truly are. And that is the only truth. All of these things that you see are experiences to give you contrast, to give you an experience, to come down into this third dimension of polarity and to see where your mind is and what you can learn from all of this and how you will react in different situations. But understand, you are home. You have always been home, and that you are so loved. Your Father loves you so much. You have never lost that love, and that love is with you, and it follows you throughout your day. Everywhere you go, that love is surrounding you, giving you a giant hug, a beautiful hug of love and of light. And know that you are so loved, and that your Father is so proud of you and all of these things that you're trying to experience. But understand that there is no, and there never has been, any judgment on anything that you're doing here. The Father, he sees this as an illusion. It's all an illusion to him, but he sees you needing to have these experiences. He sees that, and he loves that, and he accepts that, and he facilitates that, because you are his beautiful, amazing, and wonderful children having this beautiful and amazing experience here. And you are transforming this concept, the whole concept of this third dimension, by doing this, by going through this suffering, by understanding the concepts of this third dimensional construct, the understanding that ideas of cause and effect, of pain, and where does it come from, and how that you are dreaming this, and how you can create your own world, and you are, and you are, and you are. All of you are starting to understand and to see where you come from and how you have created this. And this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful process. And it has been a long process on your earth, and that is how it needs to be. That is how you truly learn these lessons and understand, and how you then become able to create your own universes and your own worlds, and to be able to facilitate all of these experiences for other souls. And this is the extension of love, because you are love. You are love, and that is what you're made of. That is it. Not this. None of this is real. The only reality is love. And I am Jesus Christ, and I am here, and I am here to talk with all of you and to help you through these experiences, and to help you understand that you have nothing to worry about, nothing ever to worry about, that you are so loved, and that you are on the most beautiful path imaginable. And understand that you can call, you have these amazing guides around you. You have me whenever you need to call on me, and you have your guides, and you have this amazing Father that is just broadcasting this frequency of love all of the time on your planet, this 24/7 broadcast of extreme and utter and beautiful love, just for you, just for you. So, whatever you do, you are truly and utterly loved, and you are forgiven. You are forgiven and loved. Hmm. All right. So yeah. All right. And then just one other thing I wanted to go to is uh, so today is my lesson was, I am determined to see things differently. I'm on lesson 21. And I was thinking about, for me, in this lesson, what you do is you go through like different things that kind of anger you or make you upset, and they'll come up into your mind, and then you deal with them. You try to figure out why you felt that way. Well, you don't try to figure out, but you just kind of see them and you say, I am just determined to see this differently. And so in this situation that popped into my mind, I don't know even know why, but I was walking in this place, this kind of shopping arcade downtown in my city, and it was the time of the crazy time, and it was the time when people were putting things on their faces, and I didn't want to put something on my face in that place. And so I walked into a store, and the owner got very, very angry and yelled at me and told, kicked me out of the shop and said, "Never, get out of here. Who do you think you are?" And he's really, really angry. And I was really upset. I thought I didn't realize at the time. I was like, you know what, but and I didn't know that I was still holding on to this thing. Why would I hold on to this thing? Well, who needs that experience? But I realized that there we go. I'm determined to see this differently. So at the time, I was a bit angry and upset. But what I see now is that um, this the function of this thing that people were putting on their faces was different than it was different that we were told. That I think is pretty much a given, but it was different from what I thought as well. So I think it had a quite different function as well, and that kind of teaches you to kind of understand that you don't really know what anything is truly for, and that for you to get emotional about it means that it is controlling you. So that is the idea. I think the whole idea of the Course of Miracles is just taking a step back and not letting things control you. There's nothing. These things that you're seeing, they're just there. This is an experience. This is this thing. You can get angry. You can get happy. You can get peaceful. It's up to you. You're free, but they have no control over you. And anyway, so this has gone on quite long. I'm going to stop here. And so, anyway, ciao. Thanks everyone for listening. I really appreciate it. I hope you're getting something out of it. And yeah, see you tomorrow.